Ignoring anger, sadness, and fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty common within the church world, don't you think? Like, people just, like, you can't be angry. Yet the Bible tells you can.
Yeah. Well, and there's an entire book on being sad.
Yeah.
You know, David constantly throughout the Psalms is complaining to God.
Yeah.
He's mad at other people.
Totally.
He's bitter.
Right. Lord, kill him.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could pray that way till I
all
read
the
the Psalms.
things.
So I was like, oh.
All the things.
Yeah.
And I think that we should learn from that.
Absolutely.
That those emotions are there to help us process things.
Yeah.
And to help us pay attention.
Yeah.
To things.
It's interesting. Every other book of the Bible is a recording of God speaking to man, right, and his response. Psalms is a recording of man speaking to God.
Yes.
And that's why you see all that within Psalms. You see all this brokenness, this despair, this struggle, like, kill me, like, please don't kill me. If I die, how could I sing your praises? You know?
Right.
And there's just this huge emotional swing in the book of Psalms. And it's because every other book of the Bible is God talking to man, you know, and recording that sort of interaction. But Psalms is the one that talks about just purely man's prayers, man's songs, man's celebration, man's sorrow before God. And so it really captures the heart of man. But I think also Lamentations is another one that, it's funny, we don't spend a lot of time in the book of Lamentations. Probably most people couldn't find it if it was marked in their Bible.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But Lamentations is the idea of bringing your complaint to God.
Yes.
And so there's a whole book about people bringing their complaint to God and going, God, I am struggling with this, while at the same time acknowledging who God is, but not ignoring what they're struggling with.
Correct.
And I think that's so key.
Even in Proverbs that, you know, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to remember the address, but it talks about how a sad face makes a happy heart.
Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly it. COVID brought a sad face, but it ended up bringing a happy heart, like for us, and for many people in some regards. Now, not for everybody necessarily, but I think I think some of that can be, you know, what is the result of the thing that caused the sad face? Is it, you know, is it you just go deeper into despair and anxiety, or do you find the gift within, you know, the sadness to go, okay, all right, what I can bring, I'm not in this alone. I can bring it to God.
Right. And learning to mourn what we have lost is extremely cathartic. Yeah. I mean, the peace that comes when you recognize this was painful.
Yeah, for sure.
And now I've shared my pain with God. I've shared my pain with those that I'm in relationship with. And Scripture teaches that it is those around us that bring healing to us.
Yeah, I remember in the midst of COVID, and this is, you could look this up on probably like Apple, iTunes, or whatever, wherever you get your stuff. But there's actually I guess it's I don't know if you'd call it an artist. I don't know how you even qualify this, but there was a group that did laments like on audio and so I found it, and it was kind of funny because it was like the movie, what's the movie, the Disney movie Brave? Is that the one with the Scottish whatever?
We've been looking for you for months.
It was totally like freedom. I mean, it was like it was this deep woman, Scottish kind of. And it was so cool, but it was like, you know, it was very creative, but it was so cool. I remember sitting on the back porch at our house in the middle of COVID, and this lament she's going through, you know, it's just like, God, why? In this like heavy Scottish accent, and I felt like it was in the Highlands, you know what I'm saying? And but it was such a great practice for me to be able to go, this really stinks, God.
Yeah.
Like, because as a leader of a church in that era, you're like, what are we doing here? Because you want to make the right decisions.
Right.
You want to lead people well. You want to honor God. You want to, and there was just, it seemed like there was no way. You were in the dark. Everybody was. Yeah. And now we have perspective. Yeah. We see things differently now, but that's the value of time.
But hopefully we learned through that season to be okay with recognizing that life is painful.
Yeah.
And to ignore that is to make ourselves less human.
Yeah, think about that. I mean, just that's so tough.